Hello and welcome. I took a look at this like a month ago and then I was like, it's the holidays. I'm going to see what happens after the holidays. Well, this is Oddity. I'm your host, Elizibar. And turns out that waiting meant I could end on a positive note instead of a negative note. So now you might remember I gave Red Rooster a lot of flack for like a year because where was my book? It was like a year late. Where was my book? Where was my book? Where was my book? All I can say with Oddity is I'm kind of glad I didn't back it because this book is almost on Red Rooster's timelines. I say almost because it's not actually. Uh, Red Rooster, according to my notes here, it was supposed to be delivered in March of 2019 originally. This is after backing it in 2018, good lord. And then I finally got it. I have here just May 2021. So that's about 790 days ish overdue. 22 months? No, 26 months. There we go. I can do math. Oddity's not that bad off. The campaign wrapped up basically at the end of October 2019. It was supposed to be delivered in March or April of 2020. Text says March in the comments, but the digital tier was supposed to be fulfilled in April 2020. This is currently January 2022. So we are something like 640 days off right at this moment. Okay, I'm just establishing time scale so that we can talk about this. So it's not as bad as Red Rooster, and there is hope on the horizon. Let me scroll down here to some of the earlier stuff in the updates, because the timeline is important. Here we are in February 2020. Folks, I'm going to be straight with you. Delivery in March is unlikely. Sweens is doing all the work. Sometimes that means work bottlenecks. Okay, that's great, but what are you doing about it? And he doesn't really describe what they're doing about it except they have a new plan to have an efficient workflow, catch up and get on a better schedule. They aren't talking 6 months of delays. Whoo! But an extra month or two is more realistic. And then we have updates. You know, people got sick, stuff happened. They apparently added some pages to the book in a new section. Seems kind of weird. But when your updates start being like, I've been remiss, no screw ups, a quick one, another late update, a semi irregular update, you should get a doctor check that out. Yada yada yada. And then we get here to February. Alright? This is important. This is like the next important update. In February 2021, almost a year ago, there were only 4 pages left to draw. And apparently it takes 35 to 40 hours to do a page. That seems like a lot of hours to do one page of a comic book. He's also doing figurines, which I wanted to show that off because that was kind of cool looking. It's I guess the plastic is glow in the dark on the green. Like, that's kind of neat. Not gonna lie. Okay, so 4 pages left to draw, and then more work. So let's scroll up to here. This is a good one. July. So 6 months ago. Sorry to our backers, you deserve better from us. I apologize. You have apologized too many times. You may genuinely be sorry, and in fact, I will believe you. I believe you right now that you're apologizing. I'm not one of your backers, but I believe that you're apologizing to them. That's fine. But you have said sorry for like 18 months at this point, dude. That's a lot of sorry. It really is. Sween sent me this progress pic so you can see these pages are done, these pages are flatted, these pages are done. Here's some that need to be worked on. So they're almost done. They're definitely in the final stretch here. Thank you for your patience. Okay. Scroll up. Big one. All the art is complete. Lines, colors, the whole kit and caboodle. And this is December 15th. So when I was looking at this previously, it was between these updates. So I'm glad I waited so I could show this off. All the artwork is complete. Lines, colors, the whole kit and caboodle. They made some changes, and now they sent everything off to lettering. Except, here we go, 14 days later, now it's been sent to lettering. So it took 14 days. I guess the holidays were in between. Makes sense. Makes sense, but I think you could have just left off this update or waited till after the new year and be like, hey, new year update. And then that kind of explains the tardiness of, hey, you were waiting for like a big milestone like the new year or something. So that's the kind of timeline we're looking at. It took them just about 2 years. Well, I guess if you start from like when the book finished its campaign, it's been over 2 years. But from the delivery date, we're almost 2 years late. We're, what are we, like 18, 19, 20 months late? Something like that. I don't think it really matters that much. We're really late, but we're not as late as Red Rooster. Now, I think the key lesson here is what's going on in the comments section. You can tell a lot about a campaign by the stuff in the comments. In the updates, how you guys doing? I'm checking up on you. So the recent update, but no projected shipping date. Well, they tried projecting that already, buddy, and it didn't work out for them. Time keeps ticking. Any update? Any update? Been over a month since the last update. Do you want help? Wow. Any update? How close are we? Any update? Any update? This is a big gap for a lot of questions of updates. What's going on with the book? I might have to move before I get some stuff. Anything happening? What's going on? Big update. Not really clear when this was posted, how long between these there was. It could be a week. It could be a couple days. I don't know how Indiegogo rounds stuff. So, I think, like, key takeaways from this project. 1, absolute communication with people. If you get a comment on your comment page, you need to respond to it pretty quick. I know when I was involved with a campaign and I saw a comment that was controversial, I got it to somebody who knew the answer right away so that they could go answer it and address the customer's questions or concerns. That's just something I did. I don't know that I was good at it, but I sure tried to be. And I think the other thing is, the artist here, Sweens, I believe, from looking at his Twitter account and stuff, that his primary income is doing 3D model type stuff. And so working on the book is a side business for him. So that being the case, it really feels like there should have been enough money here, enough guaranteed income, that he could have taken off, the 2-3 months or whatever needed to chug through this book. Now, kind of the problem with that is, if he's taking 40 hours a week to do a single page of this book, and you have a 50-page book, that means you have a 50-week production schedule for this book as a full-time job. That's not really a reasonable timeline for a 50-page book. Red Rooster, I think, was supposed to be a 48-page book, and I gave them how much heck? Like, if Mitch had just done 1 page a week, he would have delivered the book, not on time, but nowhere near as egregiously overtime as it ended up being. He'd have been done in, say, April, May, or June of 2019 instead of March of 2019. And I don't think anybody would have got upset about Red Rooster. Just like this. If this book had come out 3, 4, 5 months after its supposed ship date in March or April of 2020, like if people got this book in July, maybe August, I don't think there would be any concerns about the delivery date. It's like, oh, it's your first campaign. We understand. You're learning how to do these things. If your artist does not have the time to do the book on time, you as the creator, you as the writer, should talk to your artist and figure out what to do. You should find an alternative way to progress the book. And if that means you have to farm some of the work out to another artist or something, you got to do what you got to do to get the product in people's hands. That way they know, hey, You will fulfill on your book. You will do things on time. We will have confidence in you and your ability to do this work to get these projects out there so that we will back your next campaign. It's good for you and your reputation. It's good for your artists because it takes some of the pressure off of them. And it's good for your customers. You got to talk to people and you got to keep your promises. If you say it's going to be done by this date and you can't get it done, you get maybe one, maybe two, I'm sorry's before they start ringing hollow. And the update section here is just full of I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And it's really disheartening for me as somebody on the outside looking in to know, you know, to see that. To know that, man, this dude, he's been let down and he's letting people down. Like, that just hurts me. So the good news is, it looks like it's finally going to come out. Maybe in another month, all the pages will be lettered. They'll have it sent off to the printer. They'll get their proof copies back. Maybe they go ahead and send the digitals out ahead of time. That would be really dope if they did. And they can start getting product into people's hands. It's like a lot of businesses, you gotta get that product to people, otherwise you're not really selling anything. In some businesses, that means you get butts in the seats. In other businesses, that means you send books to people. We're in the send books to people business here. Send them the dang books. Please, Indie Dave Comics. Please, send people the books. By hook or by crook, get it done, man. And if this lettering lingers, that's going to really hurt. It really is. Because it sounds like you're so dang close. And I'm rooting for you, brother. I'm rooting for you to get this book out into January. You get the boxes back from the printer. That's what I'm hoping to see. Maybe that's unrealistic, but you can hope for miracles to happen. And I'm hoping that something great happens here and that people finally get to back this book. My only other comment is, man, I'm glad I ended up not backing this thing, because I remember when this was getting shopped around, it looked kind of cool. And I don't know if I could have stood the almost 2 years of delays here. I think that would have just ate me up inside after the Red Rooster thing. That really, Red Rooster being so late really bothered me and made me gun shy about backing other campaigns for fear of that happening again. And I don't want you to go any further towards the Red Rooster road. You don't want to go there. Nobody wants you to go there, so just don't do it. Get the book to people, please.